Are you a college student on a budget looking for the best laptop that you can get? Or are you an average consumer looking for the best laptop that you can get? Well, look no further. Hello everyone, it's Jay. And today I'm going to be talking about this budget laptop that I had found. I'm going to be talking about all the hardware that's inside of it, as well as how I tried to overclock it and it didn't work. Editor Jay here. I'm going to be doing some voiceover work and popping in on stuff I may have missed, stuff like the USB ports or any ports on the side in general, the keyboard, the battery life, the charging brick, and also the glass on the screen and fingerprints. And I'm also going to be giving tips and tricks on how to make the laptop faster or just your average laptop faster in general. So let's continue on with the video. I'm going to be talking about the screen resolution, the SSD that's inside, the RAM that's inside, the CPU that's inside, just all the hardware that comes with this laptop. I'm also going to be talking about how I use it for streaming games and how I use it for my DJ mixer. So if you happen to like my content, make sure to like, share, and subscribe, and let's get started into the video. Starting out with the brand, it's Gateway. And to be honest, I thought Gateway died. I know towards the end of the 2000s, Gateway had definitely disappeared, but now they are back. And they are offering laptops with really good hardware for a budget price. This thing, and there's a few others that are on the market, is probably a good way to get back on the market for laptops. And the reason why I'm saying that is because this thing is solid as hell. It feels like I'm holding a MacBook, and it also kind of has the same processor as some of the MacBooks. Not the same, but the same. I don't want to cause an argument with any of the, Apple consumers. Okay, so starting out with what comes in the box, it's very set forward. All you get is the laptop and a charger and a few books that come with it. So if you're the average consumer that wants simplicity, then I highly suggest looking towards this thing. All right, so now we're gonna get into some of the hardware before I lose everybody's attention. Starting out with the right side of the laptop, you get a USB 3.0, a 3.5 millimeter headphone jack, and an SD card slot. On the left side, we get a Type-C connection, an HDMI port, a USB 3.0, and a charge port. Next is the keyboard. Now, it doesn't have the number pad off to the right side like most keyboards do, and that's due to the fact that this is a 14-inch screen, so it makes the platform for the laptop smaller. On the mouse, we do get a fingerprint scanner, and this is just to scan your fingerprint to help you unlock your device even faster than putting in a password or a PIN or anything like that. Now, whenever I did this, it makes me put up a backup PIN just in case, and either one works out just fine. Now, off to the left, you will see Tuned by THX, and there is some software downloaded onto the PC for THX, and it's quite unique and different, and I really like the software that is provided. Now, this is basically only for if you plug something into the headphone jack. It won't do it for the laptop speakers themselves, but it will do it for the headphone jack. Also, I want to add that the keys feel really good to the touch. They have a rubber membrane, so they are very quiet. Now, since this is on a budget, the keys aren't backlit, but even then, you're still getting a lot of hardware for the price. This thing has an i5 11th gen processor, and I believe it is a quad core processor. That was something that I was looking around at. A lot of the other laptops that are on the market were like dual core. It didn't meet my needs. My needs were a quad core. Some people might not agree with that, but that's just me. Now, with all this nice hardware on a budget, the rated battery life is 10 hours, but I feel that I get maybe 4 to 5 hours if I don't keep it on the balance setting. And before I continue on, it also has the Bluetooth functionality, which can also drain the battery, but it is Bluetooth 5.1. The other thing that's in it is a 512 gigabyte SSD. It's probably not a Samsung SSD, probably nowhere near close to it. However, it still packs a punch and it's still really, really quick on the operating system and everything else that you want to store on it. And the next thing is the ROM, RAM, however you want to say it. It has 16 gigabytes of onboard RAM, so you can't really upgrade it. And how I know that is the overclocking thing that I was talking about. I did try to overclock it and that didn't work out, and I'll get more into that, and I had to take it apart. But it is on board, so you can't upgrade the RAM, ROM, however you want to say it. But still, 16 gigabytes of RAM is a good thing to have in today's market, because I feel that Windows 10 is just so annoyingly slow whenever you have like 4 gigs of RAM. And before I continue on, like I said, the processor is an i5 11th gen clocked at 2.4 gigahertz. So it still packs enough power for me, and I think it'll pack enough power for the average consumer or college student. And the last thing on this list is the GPU. It's nothing special. It's in a lot of laptops. It is the Intel Iris Xe graphics. So like I said, it's nothing special. It's nothing to write about. I find it to be more comfortable, especially in the average consumer market or the budget college student market. Powering it on, super simple. There is a power button on the right side up at the top. All you have to do is power it on. It will get everything set up for you. It will ask you a few questions about Windows 10, if you want to have the speech recognition thing, if you want to set up your fingerprint, if you want to have Cortana running in the background. And I usually turn Cortana off because she's always running in the background, and it will pretty much slow it down to the average consumer. Now, I can't showcase that because I've already been using it for about 2 weeks now. I've already set it up with my DJ mixer, as well as I've already started streaming games, which I will talk more in depth throughout my video of how I use this thing for streaming and how the hardware that's in it is not affected by it in any way possible. It kind of goes along with Steam's new handheld device. There's a freaking fly that keeps flying around here and it's pissing me off. And if you see it in the frame, I'm sorry. Now, one thing that I really liked about this laptop altogether is its gateway trying to come back into the market. So there isn't going to be a lot of bloatware like HP has on all of its laptops and desktops. The very few bloatware that was on there was mostly Microsoft itself. I just went in to add or remove programs, and I killed off the ones that I wasn't going to use. Next up is the screen and the screen resolution. Now, while I was looking around, there were a lot of good laptops with a lot of hardware, but were not offering full HD capability. A lot of them do say full HD, but if you read the description of the product that they're trying to sell, it's not full HD. My phone's going off. You're gonna shut up now. This one is a full 1080p clean, crisp picture. It is also a LCD screen, so it is not like an OLED screen or anything like that. For the most part, it is very crisp and very clean, and I love it. The blacks are really, really black, and that's what I love about LCD screens in general. The color is very vibrant. Holy hell, I can't say that. It's very colorful to use. Whenever I'm streaming Arkham City, I get a lot of good color to pop out of it. Now, here in the video is where I'm going to go into the BIOS, and I'm going to talk about how I did the quick start. To get to the BIOS, all you have to do is turn the PC on, and whenever it says gateway, you keep hitting the delete button, and the BIOS will pop up. Now, to navigate through the BIOS, all you have to do is use the arrow keys on the keyboard and go to boot. Once in boot, make sure that fast boot is enabled, and then save and exit. Now, another way that you can make it boot faster without going through the BIOS is hitting the Windows key, typing in msconfig, and it'll pull up system configuration. Once it pulls up, you'll have all these tabs: general, boot, services, startup. You'll go to boot, and then you'll hit no GUI boot, and then you'll hit apply, and it'll ask you to restart your system. And more along those lines, there are other ways ways in the BIOS to make it boot even faster, but I don't want to go through all that in this video all that much. This is where I tried to overclock some of the stuff, but if you overclock it, it will not turn on. So what I did was take it apart on the bottom, and the battery pack that is in this computer is the CMOS battery itself. So once you unplug the battery pack from the board for a few seconds and you plug it back in, it will reset to the last setting that you had in the BIOS. I'm also going to talk about the command that you can put into command prompt as an administrator to get rid of the hibernation feature, because hibernation tends to use a lot more memory and storage. Once you get rid of that in the command prompt, you can always turn it on or off, whichever one. You may not even want to do it, that's fine. But on my particular one, I have turned off the hibernation feature to give myself more room and more space. This thing still packs enough power, so you really don't have to do that. It packs a whole lot of power for the price. And speaking of the price, this thing was $540 with tax included. Without tax, it was $499. And where I got this from was from Walmart. Like I said, I had been shopping the market for weeks and days, trying to get a good laptop for my DJ mixer. And the requirements for my DJ mixer are Core i5, Core i7, Core i9, whatever. And so I wanted to go to the requirements because I'm going to start taking my DJ stuff more seriously, and I don't want to have like mess ups later on down the road. Now, my actual gaming PC packs enough power where it doesn't have that issue, but I can't take this big bulky thing and go to locations with it if I'm actually going to DJ somewhere. You know, if I'm actually going to DJ somewhere. Still have to get outside. Now, the color is very pretty. It's very like light blue. It does come in other colors, not just this light blue, but I guess apparently a lot of people like the other colors and the other colors were not in stock, so I just got this light blue one. But it doesn't matter. It's doing the function that I really want it to do, which is run smoothly, and I can take it anywhere I need to go, and it's just smooth and simple, and that's what I like. Now, continuing to talk about streaming the game, I have been playing Batman Arkham City on this thing a lot. If you download Steam and you have your gaming PC, if you have another rig running in the background, also Steam open, you can stream the games to whatever device you want, as long as it has Steam downloaded to it. Doing that is a little iffy. You might want to get a VPN. You want to do some type of secure network, so that way nobody else can hack your information and figure out where your actual hardware is. To be honest, I did try to do my hotspot with this thing, which isn't a secure way, so don't try it. And that did not work. It struggled a lot. Half of the time it didn't work, and the other half of the time it just froze. So it didn't freeze the laptop itself, it just froze the streaming gameplay. Speaking more along the lines of the security stuff, Steam does offer like the security code that you can put in to make sure that nobody else can get into your gameplay or your big rig over here. You can also adjust some of the settings to make it more capable, like 4K, 8K, whatever. But I kind of just leave it on the basic default settings. I feel like using this thing in my living room and hooking it up to the TV, I still get a good picture out of it. You always want to make sure that your rig is up. You want to make sure that Steam is open, and you can literally stream any games that you want to any device. Always make sure that it is secure. You don't want anybody, you know, getting into your information. So that is the end of my video. I hope I went into depth enough about this laptop. Like I said, it is about $500. It has an i5. It's 16 gigs of RAM. It has a 500 gigabyte SSD. But this is where I'm going to end the video. This video is all over the place because I just been hyped about getting this thing, and I've had it for 2 weeks now. But like I said in the beginning, if you happen to like my content, make sure to like, share, and subscribe, and I will catch you on the next one.